Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today. But if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, Gavin.G-Rich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel GBoot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Hi, I'm attorney Gavin M. Richard. Check out my latest book, The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. For approximately 2 years now, I have gone on a painstaking quest to investigate the rise and fall of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Zelle, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it could make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down. sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn that attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. Coming this spring, Gavin Richard presents Unsolved Mysteries, the only podcast that looks at the mysterious deaths and circumstances of Black celebrities, entertainers, politicians, and activists such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, Michael Jackson, Prince, Enos Cosby, James Brown, Otis Redding, and many, many more. Hosted by Gavin Richard, and joining the podcast will be veteran journalist Albert Lanier Jr. You don't want to miss Unsolved Mysteries, coming this spring, 2022. All right, smash up the likes, smash up the likes, whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you're blessed and doing safe. We're getting it in today on this Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Random Topic Tuesdays on channel G Boot 2786 on Gavin Richard, our backup channel on Facebook on Gavin Richard, as well as Gavin Rich 2786. Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me on Twitter if you like. I know many people may have a little difficult time with the tagger name, but the tag name is right there. The username is actually uh, on in the chat right there, so you can check that out and follow us on Facebook. Uh, Follow us on Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, there, and on YouTube channel GB2786, guys. So tonight we shall be discussing the following. Elon Musk buys Twitter for a reported $44 billion. What does that all mean? Union Parish District Attorney seeking charges in the death of Ronald Green. Remembering Lisa Left Eye Lopes 20 years later. And of course, rest in power to the elder Johnny Jones. All this and more tonight on channel G2786. It is Gavin Richard Presents, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to support our channel, you can go to the tickers at the bottom and donate to the Cash App, to the PayPal and Google Pay at the usernames at the bottom there. We have Zelle as well. You can dial in on that number. You can also hit the email, ladies and gentlemen. Also, if you would like, you can also check out our Facebook page. Subscribe to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr. Destruction of due process in the United States that is coming soon at Commonwealth Cosby to get updates on the book, ladies and gentlemen.
available on Amazon very soon. And also go and support our Creole seasoning company, Nawny'sCreoleBlends.com. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawny's goes great with every dish. And we actually have a link where you can go. I'll show you all the website to Knowledge Field Wins. Those that are first timers there. Some of you may have that may not know how to order food. You can order the spices. You go to click the shopping cart here, and you hit continue shopping, and you can actually just click on this icon, this picture, and you can purchase using Knowledge Creole seasoning blend. So you go ahead and do that. That would be great, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the chat, to our mods, Darius from Atlanta. We have, I'm sure we have others. We got One Who Cares. We got Desmond Woods. What's up, Gavin? What's up to you, Des? What's up, One Who Cares? And be sure to answer the poll that we have that's going on right now. I got a poll on our channel. I was asking everyone, what is your favorite TLC song? So we have a poll that I just looked at, and we'll be talking about that in a little bit. What's your favorite TLC song? And I only got 2 votes so far, so that's not too good. Come on, I know they got more people out there. Don't be shy. I know y'all we got music kids out there. So we're gonna be talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, and more on this channel. And of course, I got to talk about our music. Speaking of music, of course, you can go ahead and check out Video Soul on Amazon, Spotify, and iTunes. And of course, our theme song, as always, is Gotta Get On Up. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for us to get on up before we get the show started, because, we got to get on down before we get on up. So let's go ahead and let's get on up. And I will be right back in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat. Because on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show them what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on Earth, Wind, and Fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the 4 corners. Electric slide or 2. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get
Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe and you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on and move your body. Just like me, the groove and stuff. Feel your body. Oh, you gotta go and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the floor, baby. Yeah, gotta get on. Baby, gotta get on. Baby. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on.
All right. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Gavin Richard Presents. We are here on TV 786. Thank you all for tuning in right now. Especially with the NBA basketball games that are going on, with everything that's going on now in this crazy world. We're going to talk about, man, I don't know how to start. Some of this stuff I could have done for Thursday. I could definitely, there might be a part two on a couple of our topics on Thursday that I wanted to talk about. That I will talk about today that piqued my interest. But what's up to the family? Darius from Atlanta. We got uh, computer robots. Now, I guess I could start with this, although this wasn't my first topic I want to talk about, because computer robots just talking about what he voted for in the chat. Shout out to you, Camille. I hope you're feeling better for each other. But we're talking about remembering Lisa Left Eye Lopes. I guess we'll get started with that now. Yesterday marked 20 years since Lisa Left Eye Lopes, the brass singer from the hit group TLC, died. She died back in 2002. That was a shock to all of us. I think that was right around the time Aaliyah, which I think Aaliyah died in 2001, so it wasn't that far off, died in that plane crash, and she died in that automobile accident out in South America, if I'm not mistaken. And she was working on her second, at the time, she was actually working on her second album, her second solo album, and she was in talks with, working with TLC, Watkins, and Thomas for another album, their fourth album. And sadly, she died in that car crash. She was filming a documentary, which would later be released. It was called they call it The Last Days of Left Eye. Lisa Left Eye Lopes. Now, she actually, I remember some of the crazy stuff that she did when she burned down Andre Rison's home back in Atlanta, when Andre Rison was the biggest wide receiver in Atlanta at that time. But nevertheless, I want to focus on the positive, because I remember when TLC broke out. Growing up as a kid, when in the '90s, that's when New Jack Swing was in there. It was in the New Jack Swing was everywhere. The clothes, the airbrush shirts, the baggy jeans with the rip in them that are bleached out. That's the type of stuff I remember. And her wearing the condom eye patches and stuff like that. Yeah, she was crazy with a lot of. But based out of Atlanta, the LA, they of course getting together with LA Reid and Babyface Edmonds, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. I believe, and of course, I think it was just a nightmare when they got with Pebbles, because I remember how popular these ladies were. And for those ladies who, yeah, Leah was cute. Oh man, yeah, she was hot. And for those ladies, my motherfucker was Tony Braxton. And I was just a kid, but yeah, Pebbles screwed over them. If Pebbles screwed over, I mean, You think about that. You're selling that Crazy Sexy Cool album, which I think was their sophomore album. All right, y'all think about that. You selling, yeah, Pebbles was their manager. She fucked them over real bad with money. If you watch that TLC doc movie that was on VH1 and Pebbles tried to fight and say, no, this didn't happen, but you got to realize something. These girls were teenagers when they signed, late teens, even early 20s. Still, they're young. And when you sign with an album, you got it with any record company, you better make sure you read your contract. You better make sure you know what it is that you're signing. Now that's Lisa. Now she's cute. She's crazy, but she's cute. And that's her grave. So you think about that. She was only, when she died, she was only 30 years old. So she was still young. She still had her life ahead of her. And she was small. But I remember, yeah, the TLC put Atlanta on the map. TLC was one of those groups that, yeah, put Atlanta hip hop on the map. That early '90s sound. That's when Jermaine Dupri, Outkast, City Mob, and all of those were starting to break out. But when they worked with Babyface, when they worked with L.A. Reid, and Babyface is a hell of a songwriter and producer. But when they signed to the Face Records, and they worked with Dallas Austin, who's an outstanding songwriter and producer. You know, those and they were selling not they sold 90 million albums worldwide. They're the best selling American girl group, but yet they had filed for bankruptcy. Their second album, look at this, Crazy Sexy Cool. I had this album. We wore this album out all the time. Now I wanna look at the poll. Who had a rough childhood? Talk about Lisa. Okay, yeah, she could. A lot of people have rough childhoods. A lot of entertainers are messed up, fucked up. They're vulnerable. As much money as they have, they say money can buy you happiness. Money can't buy you happiness, which it doesn't. Although it's a damn good substitute. It's damn good trying to have it. But yeah, Jermaine Dupri working on the album, Babyface, Dallas Austin, Puff Daddy was working on it. All of these producers that worked on it, the album sold is certified 12 times platinum. So that means they were awarded diamond status, which means that it sold over 12 million copies. If you're 12 times platinum, platinum is a million. So I remember when all of this came out, yeah, Creep, there was Digging on You, Baby, Baby, Baby. I got so much love. Yeah. Now I remember Baby, Baby, Baby was actually on it was like the early outworks, but Crazy Sexy Cool. And Lord knows I don't like Chili has been uh Lord knows Chili, I had a crush on Chili. I did like her back in the day, but before I don't know what it was Usher put on her, but before she lost her fucking mind and became this succubus, I didn't mess with her. I would cut her. I was a kid. I was little. I was 8, but my game was still tight. But yeah, songs like Creep, Kick Your Game, Digging the Sea, yeah, which Kick Your Game, Lisa actually co-wrote. She also co-wrote Waterfalls, which Waterfalls had a great message in it. You know, don't go chasing waterfalls, meaning don't make trouble if you don't have to. You're moving too fast. It says Salt and Pepper and Outkast went to your high school out in Atlanta. Now, what did y'all say? So let's go to this poll right quick. I don't know what y'all said there, but I yeah, my song was Waterfalls personally, but I did like the entire album. But let's go ahead. Let's look at the poll. Oh, I gotta switch my account. I don't know what happened because I had this channel up. So let's go ahead and let's look at the. All right. So out of 8 votes so far, 50% of you said Creep. We got 50% said Creep, 12% said Waterfalls, 12% said Digging on You, and 25% Red Light Special. Darius said Digging on You. Let's see, I believe Computer Robots had said uh, Digging on You. I love Digging on You too. I might have to switch my vote, but most of everybody so far that's voted has said Creep. Now, what the hell has happened to the? Hold on. All right, that doesn't make it better. The women like Creep, of course. Yeah, and get 90% and get 90% of everything you start with. I mean, managers start out. Steve Harvey, and as much as I make fun of Steve Harvey, but he has an interesting video up talking about how already when you sign with an attorney, when you sign with a manager, your money is already being deducted right there when you sign it because I'm at work. And look, there's nothing wrong with getting an attorney. You need attorneys to look over contracts. Yeah, computer robots had the woo woo. So we're glad he's doing better. What's up, Rob? You said, yeah, it was standard business back then, and it's still that way. Although the internet and now artists can be independent and put their music out independently without the need of the industry, without of a conventional record label. I mean, you could set up your own record label like that. Hell, when I do Get On Up, that's through Inner Street Recordings with DistroKid. It's automatic. You know, once I upload it and I can distribute it digitally, it's uploaded there automatically. But you know, I remember Waterfalls because I remember when we were kids in school and we used to have talent shows and we used to do shows even after class to entertain the kids. I used to do comedy as well. I used to impersonate a lot of comedians, which a lot of entertainers, which is where and do faces, which is where all of this came from. And when y'all see me do stuff like this, you know, when I'm like when I do the Bill Cosby, you know, and do the yellow pudding, and you know, when I do the Cosby and make the silly faces, because you know you love the silly face. Oh, we're not do Richard Pryor, because you know that's just the Bill Cosby that's just sped up, motherfucker. Jack, you know, you always got to say Jack at the end of it and blame everything on you being firm, because I don't want to see no more police in my life taking my ass to jail for killing my car. Because they don't kill cars. Yeah, females love Scrubs. That's the song they really like. That no, that's the female all-time favorite. It's not it's Scrubs. That's your favorite. What about your friends? Are they gonna be around? When are they gonna turn around again? What about your friends? I'm sorry, you said What about your friends? I never heard that one, Danielle. What about your friends? Are they gonna stay or mean? Were they gonna hurt you or play with your thing? What about your friends? I, should I play some music? I, maybe I can play it briefly if I maybe if I can play it briefly. Hold on. All right. There's the music. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, I, so I creep, oh, I, oh, I. I'm trying to do the trumpet. I'm sorry. I don't want no. I don't want a copyright strike. They're gonna find a reason. No, let me play. Let me play the horn. Hold on.
Yes.
All right. I had to. Yeah. Oh die, oh die. Yeah, I know Tariq was playing Patti LaBelle. Maybe don't give him. They may not give him as much care about Patti LaBelle since them pies didn't sell out like talking about it. Yeah, female artists don't have what they did back then. But not only did Lisa Left Eye Lopez 20 years of her death, you know whose anniversary it also was? It was the death of another legend by the name of Roger Troutman. Now, brother Roger Troutman, of course, is the man behind Zapp and Roger, and he was murdered back April 25th of 1999. So that was over 23 years ago, out in Dayton, Ohio. But brother Roger Troutman wrote a lot of music. He brought the funk out there. I remember, uh, of course, one of his famous songs is "More Bounce to the Ounce." Another one that I think was one of my personal favorites is "Computer Love." You know, "Computer Love," which featured Charlie Wilson. And Charlie Wilson and Roger Troutman were actually close friends. And this was on their fourth studio album. It was the final single release, Computer Love. And what happened was the music industry, music company, they found out that Charlie Wilson was doing the vocals. I think his Charlie's record label and Zapp's record label were upset about it because there was going to be a music video that was planned with both of them, but because of the fact that they were from rival companies, the record companies said no, we can't do that. So unfortunately, no music video was ever produced between the two, which would have been killer. I wish I could have seen something on that. But Computer Love is also one of my favorites. It actually peaked at number 8 on the Billboard R&B charts in 1986. So that was a hit. The 80s had the best. I think from the 80s up until the I would say the mid to late 90s was when R&B peaked. Now it's gone. Yes, and unfortunately, and brother Roger Troutman was murdered by his own brother. That's the sad part. He was shot dead by his own brother Larry. And Larry killed himself. And I think all of this stemmed from money. When you unfortunately when you get family members involved and everything dealing with money. You know, sadly, that's this is the type of stuff that happens. But it's always unfortunate. But yeah, California love. Yeah, shout out to Black Voltron. I know you love that. California love. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. In the city of Oakland, in the city of good old Watts. What? Keep it rocking. I keep it rocking. Come on, let me hear y'all shake it, baby, and shake it, baby. I, I had the hardest time trying to do that. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. But yeah, the brothers from Earth, Wind and Fire, their saxophonist Andrew Woolfolk, he passed away today at the age of 71. There's no cause of death that was given, but it said that he had been ill for over 6 years, according to an Instagram post by Hall of Famer Philip Bailey, lead singer of Earth, Wind and Fire. He posted a tribute to him on his IG. Let me just open that for you right now, man. We're losing some legends, really, but really losing some legends. That's why we got to keep we got to keep R&B alive, man. I got new music I'm working on now. I'm trying to put some lyrics together on this song that's gonna be a badass hit. But yeah, he wrote this. He said, "I met him in high school and we quickly became friends and bandmates. Andrew Paul Woolfolk was his name. We lost him today after being ill of over 6 years. He has transitioned on to the forever, from this land of the dying to the land of the living. Great memories, great talent, funny, competitive, quick-witted, and always stylish. Wooski, I'll see you on the other side, my friend." So yeah. So Woolfolk was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2000 as a member of Earth, Wind and Fire. No word, especially on whether he had family. I'm sure he did. But may he rest in peace and in power. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, rest in peace, dear sister, and brother Larry Troutman. May their souls and the souls of the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen. Did I have any music classes at SU? I can't even remember. Not necessarily. I had a little thing with music, maybe one class or so. But if I did, it didn't last long. I did take piano lessons. I took music lessons on the side. Yeah. But may those people, may they rest in peace, man. Yeah, may they rest in peace. So 20 years later, it's hard to believe. Uh, so the next thing I want to talk about, since I mentioned Kamel mentioned COVID. This was the breaking news that I had here. Let me remove that ticker. The breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, is that Vice President Kamala Harris, or as Judge Joe calls her, Come Queen Harris, that old hag, I can't stand her. She got COVID. I don't know what happened. Sorry. He does. Yeah. Yeah. I was buffering out, but yeah, Judge Jill Brown was saying she has no clue about how to run a damn government. That incompetent jackass that she serves under, that Jim Crow Joe, I can't stand him either. They push all this case, this dysfunction, and this judiciary. She never was a career. She was a career prosecutor. She had no business being an attorney general. Damn near not even being a senator. And hell no to being a vice president. All this glorification and sissification that's going on. That's because of her ass. I got her down pretty much. I got him down. So let's go ahead. So this is coming from let's do ABC News here. She said, it says CBS News that Vice President Harris contracted COVID-19. And of course, the big question was whether or not how close she was, if she was in close contact and proximity with, uh, you know, President Joe Biden. So this is a little clip we have here on Vice President Harris tested positive COVID from ABC News. Please put that copyright disclaimer. This is being shared for news purposes only, for educational purposes as well. And it is permissible due to the Copyright Act of 1976, pursuant to the Doctrine of Fair Use, Section 13 of that said act.
Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID. The news comes as COVID cases and hospitalizations are again rising nationwide. And the White House today was supposed to announce a new plan to expand access to treatments for COVID. Joining with the latest on the fight against COVID, ABC News medical contributor Dr. John Brownstein and ABC's Ann Flaherty, along with ABC News Alex Boucher here at the anchor desk. So first, Ann, what do we know about the Vice President's condition? And given who she is, woman in good health, a good age, is there a concern that about her health? And what about the president, about whether he might have been exposed?
Well, Terry, the White House is telling us that the vice president is not experiencing symptoms at this time, that she did test positive via a PCR test, and that is a more sensitive test that can pick up on even the smallest strains of that virus. So what we do know now is that she goes into what they call isolation for at least 5 days. Day 0 will be the first day of her symptoms or the first day of her test in her case. You have to stay in isolation under CDC guidelines for at least 5 days. If you have no symptoms after that point, no fever, then you can leave isolation, but you should continue to wear a mask for another 5 days. The White House telling us that they don't think that she had any contact with the president, but of course, the vice president's going to come with a big entourage. She's going to come with Secret Service. They are probably going to be alerting those people that they may have been exposed. And if those people have comorbidities, that could be a concern for them. One question I have is if they will be offering the vice president Paxlovid. We've asked that question. This is the antiviral pill that can reduce your chances of being hospitalized. But at this point, no real concerns that she could become seriously ill. She doesn't have a lot of the comorbidities that we've seen with COVID.
Okay, thank you. And let's go to Dr. Brownstein on some of this. The news comes, Doctor, the same day White House is announcing its plan to get that COVID treatment, Paxlovid, out to more Americans, doubling the number of pharmacies that stock that drug. So just what's your sense of how this would impact a woman in Kamala Harris's age group and apparent good health? And more broadly, this move to get this Paxlovid drug out to more people, how do you think it'll help in the fight against COVID?
Well, it's an incredible treatment, and it's exciting to see that it'll have broader availability. The vice president, of course, will have access to Paxlovid, and I'm not surprised if she would get prescribed it, but we'll have to see. But more generally, we know that this pill can reduce risk of hospitalization and death by 90%. So making it more widely available means that those who would be eligible for this drug can actually get it for the first time. There's been over 44,000 infections each day, but we're only seeing about 55,000 Americans each week getting this drug. So doubling the availability, doubling the number of sites just means that those who are in need will get this drug, and it will have an impact on hospitalizations and deaths. And of course, we're in a small amount of surge, at least now, with these BA2 sublineages. So it comes at a really good time to sort of help fight against that increase in cases. Clearly, we're going to have to figure out access. We've seen these challenges with vaccinations and therapeutics, making sure that these are equitably available to everyone. That's still going to be a challenge that the White House is going to have to face in the coming weeks.
Absolutely, but it is good to hear what a strong drug this is, what a remedy this is for COVID, protective remedy. And the biggest question from a policy perspective seems to be why now? This bill was approved in December, and one wonders why wasn't this on the shelves and available for more people during the last surge?
Well, of course, Pfizer needed time to build up production. I mean, this was a very promising pill that the administration was very excited to get out there, but it needed time to produce it. They also needed time to test it. So that's why you didn't see it arrive in time for Omicron. That was really the sad news earlier this year, that many people who wanted that drug did not get access. The administration was telling us at the time they expected April to be the month where it would be more widely available. Of course, it was this morning that they announced that they were expanding this to many pharmacies. I think 20,000 pharmacies were on the list to be added. People can go to these pharmacies, ask to be tested. If you don't have insurance, you might be charged an administrative fee for that test. But otherwise, these pills should be free. They've already been purchased by the government. People need to know that you need to take them right away after you've tested positive for COVID, because that's the only way that they work.
Well, that's great. Alex Perchet, I want to ask you back to the vice president. She has access to this drug, but as Ann mentioned, they're now going to contact trace. So have you got any sense of her movements and who she might have been in contact with?
Well, what we've learned so far, she was returning from a trip out to LA, landed the 25th. She was not at the president's daily briefing this morning. And also what we know, that the big question that everybody's been asking is, well, when was the last time that she had contact with President Biden? To our knowledge, the last.
Because I've heard stuff that she is not, especially she had another someone in her cabinet resign again. I've heard that she's never prepared for any of the briefs that are even given to her by her own staff. She doesn't even read them, from my understanding. A brief? Oh, hell, she don't get no damn briefs. Oh, hell, Valerie. Look, Dana, I'm telling you, that hag doesn't read no damn briefs. You know damn well she don't read no briefs. Only briefs she's wearing are Hanes and Fruit of the Loom. That's all she's reading. Phantom Beetle, you talking about the drug they're issuing out? I gotta be careful with the stuff, man, because the minute we talk about the woo-woo, you know what YouTube does. I mean, I already got a strap. My channel already got a, you know what they've done to my channel. So I ain't even got to go back and forth with that. But I find this interesting. Do I need to play? I don't know if I need to play more. I'll play a little bit more, but let's see where it goes. I don't
Last time the two were seen together was the week of that Easter egg roll, which was April 18th.
And so he'd be out of the window of...
He'd be out of the window. We do know that she's had some close contacts in the past. Obviously, the second gentleman has tested positive for COVID. Her communications director, Jamal Simmons, tested positive following the Gridiron dinner. And then certainly both she and the president weeks ago were both around Nancy Pelosi, who tested positive subsequently after their being together.
Great. And if I can go to Dr. Brownstein on this. Doctor, you've been with us so many times over the course of this pandemic. And here we are, we're reporting on the vice president because she's, a heartbeat away and all the rest of it. But it is more and more common, right, that we know people in our own lives who have had COVID. How much?
Of course, this is a big issue because if you have someone who has COVID, that is that close to the president. Obviously, you wouldn't want, the health and safety of the president. The office of the president is the number one concern of the United States government, because if something happens to Jim Crow Joe, something happens to Joe Biden, then that means Kamala Harris, by order of succession, would be the president of the United States. And then after her would be the Speaker of the House, which I believe is Nancy Pelosi. And then after Nancy Pelosi, we got the Secretary of State, who I don't even know who the hell that is. That's exactly right. It's not Kamala, it's Kamala. That's what I call it. Willie Brown's get down. That's what we all say. That's what Judge Joe Brown said. The judge, he don't care. All you sissified punks who got a problem with me, go to hell. I'm running for judge, and I got barbecue sauce, so we're gonna turn up, turn up, turn up. Oh hell, it's gonna be manhood up in Memphis. Barbecue on bitches everywhere. All women gonna be shaking. They not gonna be just dropping dollars in their hands. We're gonna drop barbecue sauce on that ass. Oh, we're gonna have us a good time. We're gonna turn up, turn up. Turn. He gonna kill me for that. Y'all think Judge gonna get me for that? Judge is not watching this show. But I've imitated him before. He didn't say much. He's like my favorite one to do. My other favorite is Shannon Sharp. I like Shannon Sharp. Y'all gonna have to pay me my restitution. Cause I'm gonna tell you something, Skip. I'm gonna tell you something right now, Skip. If Will Smith has come up to me, I'd have been a man. I'd have slapped his ass. I'd have to come out that tuxedo, Skip. I'd have to come out right now. Because Skip, you don't do that to a man, Skip. Come on, Skip. Skip. Come on, Skip. Judge Joe Brown is on. See, Judge Joe Brown is man. Judge Joe Brown knows that Kamala Harris ain't that good of a vice president. She knows she's worse than Will Smith. She knows this, Skip. She knows all this, Skip. I got everything down. Number 84, stay sharp. That's me. That's me every day. Shannon Sharp, your ass. I know your ass. Your ass. I just finished judging the show. I know your ass would have tore Will Smith's ass up. Oh, hell. Judge Joe Brown with the get down. See, that's what I love. Show your love. Me, Judge Joe Brown, we go back. I'm a judge and he's a judge. But I'm the better judge because my ass, my ass didn't even have to go to law school. I do common sense, player. I host every damn show on TV just so that my wife can't get all, in case she divorced me, she ain't getting all my goddamn money. Hey, you better not. I know you're not calling me no horse, Black Voltron. Shannon Sharp ain't no horse. I just play for the Broncos. I play for the Broncos and I play for the Ravens. I play for the Ravens. I play for Baltimore Ravens. Sugar Ray, that was my dude. You gonna give me my restitution? I would have slapped the shit out of him. What your ass say, Shannon Sharp? All right, let's stop. That's enough of that. But yeah, Kamala Harris. I should have ended the show on doing Stay Sharp because then everybody wouldn't be commenting. Come on, get back to business, counselor. That's what Judge would have told me. Yeah, the cornerback when he was playing for the Saints, we signed him. This motherfucker was so bad. He was great with the Seahawks. I'm trying to. I'm trying not. I don't even want to remember this thing because he was bad. The worst cornerback we ever had. If you're a Saints fan, he was just getting. It's not Eli Apple. Brandon Browner. Yeah, Brandon Browner. That's him. He was getting burnt when he played with the Saints. He was a great corner. It was good when he was with Seattle, but he benefited under that system, and he was penalized so many times. And he was a defensive captain. He was the most penalized defensive cornerback in the league. And he went back to Seattle, and they released him. So, I mean, he played only 5 years in the league, and his most successful season was in 2011. He had 6 interceptions. He won a Super Bowl in 2013, and he won a Super Bowl in 2014. But he was the most penalized football player in penalized cornerback in 2015. I remember that. Saints was but what I'm mentioning with him, because he was part of that Legion of Broken defense, but he and Shay Sharp got into some words, and Shannon Sharp said, yeah, Shannon Sharp criticized and said, watch it be Brown. So thick. Hold on, let me share it with y'all so y'all can see. All right, let me stop this video. Let me share this with y'all. So we're gonna read this like Shannon Sharp right quick, okay? They said, watch it be Browner. I'm saying it's covered today. I'm convinced he couldn't cover a twin bed with a king sheet. Saying she released B. Browner. He's not worth the distraction as a subball coach TV. Watch it be Browner of Saints cover today. I'm convinced he couldn't cover a twin bed with a king sheet. So Brandon Browner responded to Shannon Sharp, it's easy to talk with fake teeth. You shouldn't throw stones when you live in a glass house. And Shannon Sharp said, just play better football. Enjoy your evening. And everyone knows I'm the lip sparring champ if I get into a battle with B. Brown at 27. I'm part of the story. This terrible play gets lost. Fact. He was terrible, Skip. Yeah, Ray Buchanan from the Raiders. I remember him. He played with Miami. What was that? Philip Buchanan. I'm getting that mixed up. Philip Buchanan. But yeah, but get back to Kamala Harris. I mean, she's had 7 aides. This is what I'm talking about here. You read this from the Daily Mail, guys. The Daily Mail lists that Kamala Harris had 7 aides that left her office. This is from January 6, 2022. 7th aide since Kamala Harris's disastrous June border trip announces he is leaving in staff exodus. Press Director Peter Zelle heads to the State Department after allegations of turmoil and bullying in her office. So, a lot of people have been leaving her office. People complain about people when Trump was in office and people leaving, but she had 7 aides just in her office quit, and she's only been in office as vice president for over roughly really a year. So damn, that's bad. Now, so she catches COVID. Just a matter what is going to happen if Biden did contract that. And I'm just thinking, so if Biden and Harris if both Biden and Harris contract COVID, which means they may be unable and unfit to man their duties as president and vice president respectively, do we really want Nancy Pelosi running shit? Do we want her running shit? Technically, she is already, because that's essentially what the Democratic Party is doing now. Is they're running everything. But what y'all think? I do. I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, at all. But say get well soon, man. I'll just leave it at that. I'm being nice. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Please donate to the Cash App, PayPal, Zelle. Anyway, if you enjoying this show, if you enjoyed the broadcast, make sure y'all do hit that Cash App. Skip, you need to hit that Cash App. So, all jokes aside, this is a serious issue I want to get to. Union Parish DA is seeking charges in the death of Ronald Green. Now, I have talked about this, and this is one of those stories I told you all I'm going to try and do a part 2 on. We're going to try and do one on Thursday as I talk with our brother Sean James. But the DA here of Union Parish, his name is John Belton. He's the attorney for the 3rd District, that's the district up in Monroe, the 3rd Parish. He is seeking indictments for all those involved in the death of Ronald Green. He wants to convene a special grand jury. Now, this is a black man. Now, of course, that means nothing, being black, but we want to see what actions, if actions speak louder than words. That's the old saying. Actions do speak louder than words, and what is his position? So, Belton, this is coming from KNOE, says that the U.S. Attorney's Office should be close to handing down federal indictments in the death of motorist Ronald Green. That news came during the 4th meeting of a state legislative committee looking into Green's death, which happened just outside Monroe, Louisiana. The DA for that area told lawmakers today he plans to move forward and prosecute some of the officers involved in the incident on state charges. And he hinted federal charges could be coming down soon. Let me stop right there. Don't prosecute some of the officers, Mr. Belton. If you're going to administer justice, sir, prosecute all the officers that were involved with this man's death, if you have it, if there's probable cause to do it. No, not some, all. I understand as a prosecutor, believe me, you have to have probable cause to do it. But if any of them were involved in some way, shape, or form where they aided and abetted with it, even in a minute way, they should face the full extent of the law. And you know why I say that? You would not hold up if it was if the shoe was on the other foot. I know that. How many kids that get stopped by the police, you find drugs in their car, you don't know who did it? How many times do we see all of those kids get charged? Dozens of times. If you're in a car and your friend decides to joyride, even if you got nothing to do with it, they don't arrest just the friend. They arrest you too because you were in there. But let's go on. I'm reading this article here, courtesy of KNOE. It says that, of course, you know who Ronald Green was. He was the young man that was killed in a high-speed chase and crashed in Union Parish. I won't show the video, but they had hid the state police body camera footage video for a while, and claiming he died in an automobile accident when that was not case. He was still breathing at the time the car and vehicle stopped and crashed. And he was tased and beaten by the state troopers. They dragged him out of the car, they beat him, and they tased him. Melton told the committee, quote, "The video I saw of Mr. Ronald Green was while in the custody of state police, who I think what he means is who was in the custody of state police was the worst thing I had ever seen." He told lawmakers today that the feds told him on 2 occasions last year that they would be handing down federal indictments within a matter of weeks. That has still not happened. I was asked by the United States Attorney's Office not to institute formal proceedings in state court until they initiated prosecution on the federal level, Belton explained. However, Belton says that recently changed and the feds have given him the green light to proceed with filing separate state level charges. It says, after receiving the United States Department of Justice's investigative report, I will request that a special grand jury be impaneled in Union Parish. My plan is to present all relevant evidence, to the grand jury for their determination of appropriate charges. Melton continued. Now, let's play this audio right quick. This is coming from WAFB. So WAFB was part of this. I think, these are different. KNOAE, I think, is up north in Monroe. And this is WAFB. This is what they, obviously, they recorded they didn't record, but the audio was released and more information keeps coming out. You know what they do when these things happen. Now, of course, this was a few weeks ago when Belton testified before the committee. But I want to talk about this now. He says, Belton goes on, before I play the video, he says not only will Belton be able to use his own evidence, but also evidence obtained from the federal investigation and testimony from the state legislature committee meetings. Now, some people have asked and wondered, why do we have the grand jury? Why does it need a grand jury to testify to even bring an indictment? Well, in Louisiana, if you have a crime that, let's say, is punishable by life in prison or by the death penalty, you are required by law to have a grand jury convene. Now, it's hard, as you probably have heard before, to prove intent, which is what's required in murder, because you not only have to kill a human being, you have to have the specific intent to kill, and there's a key to this, not just to kill, it's also or to inflict serious bodily injury, meaning you purposely wanted to hurt this person, even if you didn't kill them. But let's say you shot them in a way that you shouldn't have, you knew, obviously with intent, that it could have cost their life, and you hit them and they bleed out. Obviously, that's something you should know. That's murder. But we're going to play the audio. And before I go, I'm going to read one last quote from Mr. Belton. He says, quote, "I did not recuse my office. In fact, I have maintained prosecutorial power to prosecute state crimes that occurred in my district, specifically the parish of Union. I believe some of the officers' actions were above the law. They committed criminal acts, including violating Mr. Green's civil rights."
New audio obtained by the Associated Press reveals a former trooper admitting to beating Ronald Green just days before that former trooper died in a car crash. A new report reveals Master Trooper Chris Hollingsworth was interviewed about the situation, and during that interview, he said he hit Green because he felt threatened. You can listen to the full audio right now on the 9 News app.
He said he felt threatened, so he hit the man with his flashlight. Now, this came out, this was published on March 30th, and I've been doing stories on this. In fact, I'm going to have my friend my friend, my brother, Mr. Ron Haley. I'm gonna try and get him to come on the show. Ron is the attorney for the family, so I would love to have him come on. But let's play the article here. Here's the audio.
I don't remember.
How does work?
I could have.
Chris,
Shut up.
did you have an object in your hand
I don't.
when you?
Can we rewind the video and look? But I'd like to look. I could have had my flashlight in my hand.
Were you carrying your flashlight that night?
Yes, sir.
Did you have it out during this? Like when you ran up to the car, were you holding it?
Yes.
Okay. What kind of flashlight is it?
It's a streamlight.
Okay, like a little Stinger or?
Yes, sir. It's a small one.
This is the cop that died mysteriously. That's talking. Hollingsworth. This is the one that died in a car accident. It's the one that died in that car. Yeah, died in that car accident and got a full state trooper burial.
Put your hand behind.
Right here. Yes, sir. I have my flashlight.
You had your flashlight in which hand?
My right hand.
Okay. Were you striking with your flashlight?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, he died in a car accident. It was an accident. I don't know too much about it. It was route accidental, off-duty crash into a highway guardrail. Although it's speculated, now you read this, he took his own life. Hollingsworth was sober, he was not wearing a seatbelt, and was a state police driving instructor traveling an interstate he had patrolled for decades. The crash reconstruction experts who reviewed case reports for the AP agreed the circumstances were, quote, suspicious and the probe by local police was inadequate. The reconstructionist by the name of Jonathan Cherney said, and I quote, it's definitely consistent with a suicide, but I do not have enough information to say he didn't fall asleep. But I'll tell you what, you have a hard time falling asleep when you're doing 100 miles per hour. Now, Mr. Green's mother, Mona Harden, said that, quote, when talking about Hollingsworth's death, she said, it hurts me to the core that Hollingsworth isn't here, Farring told AP. He was front and center, and they gave him all the bells and whistles on his burial. They overlooked what he did and what he confessed to. So let's play that right quick.
This is audio obtained by the 9 News investigators reveals the former head of state police was questioned in a
Scotty Hunter has that audio for us tonight and tells us what it reveals about the case. Scotty?
Guys, it is eye-opening audio giving us a timeline on the state police investigation into Ronald Green's death and also insight into the mindset of the former top cop at LSP before he testified before lawmakers.
I would probably say not necessarily the fall of 2021 to go.
Before retired LSP Colonel Kevin Reeves was in the hot seat before lawmakers this week regarding the death of Ronald Green. Exclusive new audio obtained by the 9 News investigators shows where the former colonel, his legal team, entered the house where Sheck Snyder met privately.
And I'll tell you this, and this is strictly just friend to friend.
Much of the focus is on Speaker Clay Scheck Snyder wanting clarification on what Governor John Bel Edwards knew surrounding the case and when. The speaker pushes the former colonel who insists he only sent the governor a text about the case and did not brief him on the matter in the first year or so following the incident. Green died in Monroe following a high-speed chase in 2019 and violent encounter with state police that followed.
Was the governor or his staff ever briefed other than that text on the volunteering incident?
You're talking about 2019, after the end of 2019.
Are you talking about Governor Edwards?
Not really anything significant that I can remember.
I've been doing include.
I not unless state police had it, the district attorney had it, and the federal government had it.
Reeves goes on to say he does not believe anyone else from state police besides himself talked to the governor about the case. The audio does give us a better timeline of how state police was handling the case in the days and weeks after Green's death. Reeves admits he did not read the reports and instead trusted those in charge of the investigation to handle it.
There's this misconception that this was at the top of our plate. My position as superintendent is that I'm not a detective. I should not be directing investigations. I should not be putting my finger in and let the detectives do their work. Give an honest report. I don't even read the reports. Let's move on. Do your job.
Another thing Reeves admits he wishes he had done differently was speak out publicly about the case.
It probably hurt us that we didn't speak out a lot about it, and do some. And we round tabled doing some public statements in 2020, and I just wasn't in favor of it.
What was clear. Other who've approached him about responses, and you can also listen.
All right, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm back. I had to step out for a second. Let's stop the screen. Okay. Come on. What the hell is this doing? Can y'all hear me? Okay. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. What's going on with YouTube right now on StreamYard? But yeah, supposedly to answer your question, Danielle, it looked like he went out like a damn coward. My opinion, I think it. I don't have the evidence, but like the expert even said himself, if you're doing 100 miles per hour, it's hard to say that you weren't committing suicide. It's hard to say you were asleep. If you're doing 100 miles per hour and you run right into a guardrail, I think he would have. I think, and part of the reason probably why he did that is you got to bear in mind also, life insurance does not dish out to a grieving widow and your children if you commit suicide. You do not get the same benefits. If he killed, he went out before he even had a day in court, a day to face judgment here, but I'm pretty sure he's facing judgment in the hereafter. If you know the Lord and that God is just, this will not go unanswered. And our brother Ronald Green is sitting in the witness box pointing at this officer. Trust me. But we're going to monitor. I'm going to follow up, and even I want to talk to Sean Thursday about it. And I think I got some news by Thursday. I believe we will have phone lines ready, so you all will be able to call in, which is going to be great. But let's talk about a couple of final things. So Elon Musk buys Twitter for a reported $44 billion. What does this all mean? So most people already know. If you don't know by now, Musk bought on yesterday. It was reported that Musk had bought Twitter for $44 billion. Now, he is known as the world's richest man. I thought it was Jeff Bezos because, hell, Jeff Bezos divorced his wife and still has all the money in the world. And she got half his stuff. Because Bezos was, I think, the wealthiest man in the world, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, it rotates because their stuff changes, but it says Bezos is no longer. So yeah, it is Elon Musk. I apologize. So yeah, Musk is worth $219 billion. Then you have Bezos. Then you have Bernard Arnault and family, who are estimated 158 billion. You got Bill Gates at 129 billion, and then you have Warren Buffett at 118 billion. So you just think about that now. So he owns Tesla and he owns SpaceX. Now he owns Twitter. So when you're talking about Twitter, of course, I've had my issues with, and most people have had their issues with Twitter getting suspended for even doing harmless ribbing with someone. The social justice warriors that get you suspended. I mean, I've had videos taken down. I've had tweets taken down. I was suspended for a week going at it with this with this full-on lesbian man-hating wench. When she was dissing me and being ugly with me, she was not reported, but she, I guess, reported on me. They suspended me for 7 days. Of course, they do a lot of stuff too. Now, I found Twitter to be hypocritical because they pass themselves on as free speech and they suspend people for promoting a safe environment. They want to promote a safe environment where bullying is not tolerated, but they can show pornography on Twitter. You can say whatever you can't say what you want about somebody, can't hurt anybody's feelings, but we can show sex, although it could be for 15 seconds. My understanding too, even with their policy, there's even stuff I read, and I know the article exists about kiddie porn on it. Now, of course, legally, they, that would not be tolerated and fly here. But that stuff is real. You're on your third Twitter account? Yeah, I might have to open up. We always talk about finding new space, but yeah, they suspended. Let's not forget what he did with Minister Farrakhan. They took his Twitter away. They took away. They took a lot of people off. So I don't get caught up in it. And this is a multi-billionaire. This is a multi-billionaire, and we're worried about that. Everyone's freaking out. You have this actress who was on the show, if you remember the show, The Good Place. She hosts the game show, and she's also about to do She-Hulk. Indian actress. I can't British. Well, she's British, but she's of Indian descent. Trying to see what her name is. Jamila Jamil. That's her. Yeah, she's talking about leaving because Elon Musk purchased Twitter, and Musk is part of that. Those Trump supporters, Trumpeters support him, thinking he's going to bring back free speech. That's what he's talking about. I saw that Twitter stock, Tesla stock, actually has dropped to 12%. Yeah, but I know the damn thing exists. But Judge Joe Brown even talked about Twitter. How they keep you, just like they keep me from having my channel monetized, they keep you from having a blue check. That's the stuff that goes on. But if you can show a woman twerking her ass, if you can show sex, if you can show anything like that, that's permissible, but not encouraging black people to be independent, to own their own stuff, to talk about why we oppose demasculation of men. It's here though. Let's just look at the purchase. He started to stated that the aim of turning the haven into a haven for free speech. They say the problem is that the platform has been down this road before and it didn't end well. They tried it a decade ago. A Twitter executive dubbed the company the free speech wing of the Free Speech Party, and then in the United States, a visceral 2014 article by journalist Amanda Hess exposed the incessant vile harassment men and women face just for posting on Twitter or other online forums. And we're talking about the Arab Spring demonstrations. So over the subsequent years, they say Twitter learned a few things about the consequences of running a largely unmoderated social platform. One of the most important being that companies generally don't want their ads running against violence, threats, hate speech that bleed into incitement and misinformation that aims to tip elections or undermine public health. So Google, Barrett pointed out, quickly learned this lesson the hard way when major companies like Toyota and Anheuser-Busch yanked their ads after they ran ahead of YouTube videos produced by extremists in 2015. Once it was clear just how unhealthy the conversation had gotten, Twitter co-founder and former CEO Jack Dorsey spent years trying to improve what he called the health of the conversation on the platform. Well, here's the problem with it. Now, of course, I am not a Elon Musk supporter anyway. I think his company has a history of, especially Tesla, has issues as it pertains to Black Americans at work in their that work in their factories, obviously. But I don't support censorship either. Now, I am not for hate speech. I'm not for people threatening people with violence. I understand as as someone who owns and runs a company myself, there are things you don't want to be associated with. But to suspend people multiple times, I mean, we're talking about Twitter, but even our brother Sean actually got a strike on his channel for a video from 2015. 7 years ago, they're trying to suspend Sean's channel. Sean James, our brother who comes on here every Thursday, is being suspended, is being attacked. He is being attacked as we speak. I have been attacked wrongfully. Let Twitter implode. Let YouTube implode. This is the platform. It's easy for me. You know why I come on here? It's just easy for me to talk to people. But after what I've been through the last year or two, to go from working so hard to have my channel monetized and then have it stripped away from me in less than 24 hours, get bogus copyright strikes. I got a hate speech strike on my channel right now because I showed Minister Farrakhan's simulcast from Savior's Day. And yet, when I appealed it, you couldn't even tell me what it is that he said that was hateful. What hate speech did I endorse? Tell me. You make the charge. What were the charges and what did I do? I don't even know if this thing is going to be successful because you can put out tweets, you can buy something, you know, if the advertisers push out of it, you're going to have to find a way to get more advertisers. You know, a lot of people see the writing on the wall that the right wingers are going to take over and it's going to be this place and, you know, this haven of right wing rhetoric. We already got it here. We already got it here. So I'm not even of the position of it's going to be great whether, you know, this is uh I'm happy that Elon Musk, I really don't care. I do know that they have the what's the other, there's a bunch of places. There's Black Enough. I know that they often have Parlor, but Parlor, of course, has the rednecks that are on there, and people even complain about that. I mean, anywhere you go, you're gonna find censorship. He might, and I think, yeah, he's gonna ease up on it. But you know what? Someone tags you, tag them back. Who cares what a redneck thinks about you? What matters is what you know about yourself. A redneck racist bastard messes with you. You know what you tell him? Tell this joke to him. Hey, how does a redneck get circumcised? Kicks his sister in the chin. That's an old joke we would say. That's how you mess with these racist bastards. That's how you deal with these bastards, man. You don't let them take over you. So it could be a good thing that, yeah, we don't want censorship. Do I want to be around white supremacist racists? No. But you know what? You all go to work with, all of us on here, we work with somebody we don't like. We work with somebody that's racist and we put up with it. Why? We need that check. We have family, we have that we got to feed. You got kids that need clothes and diapers. You got to pay your mortgage. We all work with people we don't want to be associated with. And if you don't want that, well, here's what you do. Come up with a concept, think of something you're good at that you know you can run. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me either. In the Apple store, I mean, that's Rainbow City. That's the Rainbow software. I like Apple. I mean, I'm on a Mac right now doing this live stream. But it could mean something. But yeah, man. But think of what I was going to say was think of something you're great at. Think of something you like. What do you love to do? What are you good at? Can you own this? How much it's going to cost to do? Manufacture it, whatever it is, and work hard on it. And while you're doing it, yeah, work your 9 to 5 and build up your money. Save, put some money on the side that's going to go towards that business. That's how you deal with that. But, you know, I'm looking at this, and just from looking at it, it looks like the stock has, the stock has plummeted since they've learned this, but who knows where this is going to go. Last but not least, I want to talk about this. I want to close on this, ladies and gentlemen. Rest in peace to the elder, Johnny Jones. Now, those of you who are not familiar with Mr. Jones, have never heard of the name, Johnny Jones was a World War II veteran. He was also a civil rights attorney. And Mr. Jones, who was I went to, it was a centenarian. He was a centenarian, which means he was he lived to be 100 years old. He passed away over the weekend. Uh, a centenarian, I apologize, centenarian. He died in Jackson's at a veterans facility at age 102 years old. He was also a state's legislator in the 1970s. In 1972, when he was elected to the Louisiana House of Representatives. He returned from World War II in the Army. He was drafted to the 494th Port Battalion, an all African American Port Battalion attached to the 6th Engineer Special Brigade that took part in Operation Overlord, leading to the invasion. That's where you get the Overlord. If you saw the movie Overlord that came out in 2018, that's what that movie was about. And in fact, the lead character in that was black. But Jones served as a warrant officer in the United States responsible for leading a unit unloading equipment and supplies onto Omaha Beach. And he was the first ever African American warrant officer, United States junior grade in the United States Army. He was also involved in the Normandy invasion, and he was injured on Omaha Beach, sustaining a back injury when his ship hit a mine. He received sharpened wounds to the neck from German air attacks and German sniper rounds, but nevertheless, he continued to serve. He fought in the Battle of the Bulge, which is the largest battle ever fought by the United States Army and a major factor in bringing about the end of World War II. Now, what happened in 2021 on June 26th, nearly 77 years later, after he was injured in the D-Day invasion, he got his Purple Heart. Now, this was held at the state capitol. Let me show you a picture, if I can, of Mr. Jones. And I'm going to actually just go to WAFB. They have a video on his life. We'll go ahead and put that here.
Baton Rouge is mourning the loss of a World War II veteran and civil rights activist who played a key role in the 1953 Baton Rouge bus boycott. Loved ones say Dr. Johnny A. Jones Sr. died today at the age of 102 at a veterans facility in Jackson, Louisiana. Community members may remember Jones served as an attorney and spokesperson for the 1953 Baton Rouge bus boycott. He received numerous awards and achievements for his efforts in the Baton Rouge community and beyond throughout his lifetime. Last year, state leaders honored him with a Purple Heart for fighting while injured on the beaches of Normandy in World War II. May he certainly rest in peace there.
So not only that, he was involved and instrumental in the Baton Rouge bus boycotts. That actually is what started and influenced certainly the bus boycotts out in Alabama by Dr. Martin Luther King. So your Johnny Jones was a well-respected individual and man in the Baton Rouge community. He became an attorney certainly after serving in World War II. He was very much involved with the NAACP. Of course, we know the NAACP means something different now. But nevertheless, this is a man I respected as a lawyer, a civil rights attorney. He certainly was a pioneer in desegregation here in the South. He worked his butt off to bring about change for Black people in Baton Rouge, in Louisiana, and the world in general. And so he is going to be well missed. Now, I actually had the privilege, and I've been looking and searching for it right now, of meeting your Johnny Jones at a service in Baton Rouge when I was still living there. Mr. Jones was being honored, and I actually had a chance to speak with him briefly and take some pictures. And I'm trying to find him if I could, because it's so cool. I don't know if I can. I have it on my phone on computer, but I'm trying to see if I had it on Facebook, because that would be much easier. You guys could just see all my photos and not have to go back. So I'm trying to find it, but hold on a second, guys. So I don't know if you guys probably will not be able to see this because this was in, okay. I'm trying to find it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Ah, mm, okay. I cannot find it. Damn it. And I thought I had it here. I was pretty confident I had it. Well, I did get to meet him, and I was privileged to meet him and just thank him also for what he was able to do for the black community, what he did in the civil rights movement. So I was privileged to do that, to talk to him. So a man that lived a great life. And let me just go over the awards that he won. And I froze again. Okay. Let me just go over right quick the awards he won. This is from Wikipedia. Mr. Jones had awards. These are his veterans awards that he won. Purple Heart, European African Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with 2 bronze stars and 1 bronze arrowhead. American Campaign Medal, World War II Victory Medal, Legion of Honor, and the Croix de Guerre with Palm from France. Now, after returning from World War II, Jones was beaten by a sheriff during a traffic stop while on his way to New Orleans to have a piece of shrapnel surgically removed from his neck. He subsequently earned a bachelor's degree from Southern University, and in 1953 he graduated with a law degree from Southern. 15 days after law school graduation, T.J. Jemison, who was the Baton Rouge minister out at Mount Zion First Baptist Church and a civil rights leader, recruited him to represent people arrested during the 2-week Baton Rouge bus boycott, which was a precursor to the Martin Luther King Jr. bus boycotts in Montgomery. And during the civil rights movement, he leapt from his car before a KKK car bomb exploded. So they actually tried to kill him on multiple occasions. He practiced law until the age of 93, representing numerous clients on civil rights legal cases, and he serves as the assistant parish attorney for East Baton Rouge from 1968 to 1972. He fought for pay equity for teachers. He sued to desegregate local schools, parks, pools, amusement centers, and courtrooms. He also represented Southern University student protesters during the civil rights movement. He guarded the constitutional rights of indigent defendants and challenged voter discrimination practices. He was the first African American member of the Baton Rouge Bar Association. He was also an author of, wrote the book On the Road to Equality with Dorothy Kendrick, and he was interviewed for the Louisiana Civil Rights Movement Oral History Project by the Louisiana Library Center for Oral History. A centenarian in 2019, as you saw the pictures on WAFB when he was all in red, they celebrated his 100th birthday. Mr. Jones, sir, may you rest in peace. Your life certainly will not be forgotten, the accomplishments that he's made, and we thank him for his service and all the veterans that have served him. So may his soul and the souls of the faithful departed, through the mercy of God, rest in peace. Amen. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But shout out to Mr. Johnny Jones. I normally play I will play it. We'll play Get On Up. I hate to end it on a somber note like this, but Johnny Jones, we're not gonna end it somber. We're gonna celebrate your life, sir, and not just your life, but Lisa Left Eye Lopes, Roger Troutman, our brother from Earth, Wind, and Fire, Mr. Andrew Woolfolk. We all gonna celebrate you. So Earth, Wind, and Fire inspired Gotta Get On Up. So we're gonna play Gotta Get On Up. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Please, if you love the channel, donate to the Cash App. Also, and to the PayPal and Zelle. I can't tell you enough to go and support if you want to advertise, go to hit me up in the email, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the Facebook page at Commonwealth Cause for the book on Cosby, ladies and gentlemen. We got new updates coming. Also, please go to our NornisCreoleBlends.com to get some seasoning. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nornis goes great with every dish. And of course, if you want to support the channel, other ways you can download and purchase Gotta Get On Up and Video Soul, which is available on Apple and iTunes and Amazon, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, we're going to get on out of here and get on up. Thank you, Nino Black. Thank you, Black Voltron, Danielle Meyer. We'll be back Thursday with Sean James. Darius from Atlanta, One Who Cares. There's so many people I can thank. Computer Robots, Camille. Let me just say, Skip, I want to thank everybody that came out here because you got to give me my restitution. You all gave Shay Sharp his restitution coming on out here because we talked about a lot of topics. We talked about all the good and the bad, that was going on in the world. And today you all showed that I was special. You all did that. You did that for Shay Sharp. So we're going to get on out of here. I'm going to get on out of here like I got on the tux of Will Smith. When Will Smith was going to slap me, I wish a motherfucker would. See, I can't say that when I'm on Fox Sports because I get paid that money. I get paid that money to keep these pearly teeth white. But we're going to say it right here on YouTube. We're going to say it on YouTube. Fuck Will Smith. I'd have come out that tux. I would have kicked that motherfucker ass. And that's the truth. I would have done that because he was going to give me my restitution. See, when you see me, I'm the devil. You see me, Chris Rock should have been like Will Smith. Will Smith. Chris Rock's going to be the devil. So you're going to give me my restitution. And in the meantime, we're going to play Gotta Get On Up. So we're going to get on out of here, Skip. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to go ahead and dance our way out of this. Now it's time to watch the basketball game. And some of you, it's time for you all to go ahead and work. But Shay Sharp going to watch the basketball game before he go to bed and go to work. Because Shay Sharp going to get that workout in. Shay Sharp going to get that basketball time in. That's most definitely true. Now let's go on ahead and let's get on up. Let's go on ahead and let's get on up. Oh, hell no. Computer robot. What your ass say, computer robot? Your ass telling Steve Harvey you didn't know who Roger Troutman was. Where your ass been? Your ass, you see now? You see what you just done did? I mean, your ass saying you didn't know who Roger Troutman was today. That tell me you don't your ass don't know a damn thing about R&B. Roger Troutman, I grew up on Roger Troutman. Yeah, I grew up even though I was in my 20s at the time. I grew up with Roger Troutman. Roger Troutman done raised me. I made love in the backseat of my car to Roger Troutman. More bounce to the ounce. Oh yes. I would ounce right into that. Ounce right in Club Cooch. So we're gonna go ahead We're gonna play Gotta Get On Up. Cause I've been here for almost 2 hours. I ain't got paid. Steve Harvey don't work for free. But let's get on up.
Girl,
Thank you, Steve
come
Thank
on.
you, Steve Harvey.
Gotta dance to the beat.
Steve Harvey, open my
'Cause on the dance
rest.
floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Cause on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Pull on earth, wind and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop, I'll do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Baby, yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up. Baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Restitution, Skip.